off a daily fantasy. His number too high, then I'm probably fading him. He been on the road, he gon' eat up my salary. I hit up by, he gon' lie before lock. Play back to back, then I probably won't pick on the DFS bachelor, good as it gets. Build a few liners and hit me a leg. He had a good game, but it might be a trick. Log in the Slack so I know who to pick. Sharing our liners, we all gon' get rich. New to this game, you should come to the pad. You might want some cash and get a good laugh. DFS sports, we gon' run up a bag. He heard every game and it's making me mad. You buying your lineups, I think you a cheater. DFS bachelor, he the new leader. Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Bachelor Pad. I, of course, am your host of DFS Bachelor. Ow. And we're going to go over our fantasy draft NBA picks for Tuesday, March 3rd. It's an 8-game slate, and as usual with our fantasy draft videos, we do a core 5 early in the morning here that we think could be successful tonight. First things first, thank you for all your support. Cheers to you all. I truly do appreciate all your support, the kind words, making me a part of your day every day. Thank you all so much. If you are new to the channel, welcome to the team. Be sure to hit subscribe down below, get access to all of our content. We cover NBA for all the major sites, XFL. We didn't get to last week. We'll maybe get to this week if I can stomach it. The more and more I watch that league, the more and more I'm... So, anyways, there's that. But lots of content, lots of stuff. So hit subscribe down below. I appreciate that. Also, by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and leaving a comment in the comment section, you qualify for our weekly $25 PayPal giveaway. And if you comment with your fantasy draft username, not DraftKings, not FanDuel, your fantasy draft username, I feel like I have to clarify this, you can qualify for our weekly drawing every Friday. We give away a few entries into the NBA contest that day. That's a lot of fun. Sometimes we do the big $25 contest, etc. So if you do not have a fantasy draft username and you wish to be a part of that drawing and try to win a free entry, go to FantasyDraft.com, enter promo code DFS Bachelor, create your account, and then comment with it right here in the comment section. It's absolutely free to create an account as well. Break-free DFS, man, is a lot of fun. So what that means is all of your entry fees go right back into the prize pool, so you have a higher chance at winning. When you do win, you win a higher percentage of the prize pool, etc. Fantasy Draft. It's a lot of fun. Be sure to check all of that out, and a big thank you to them for the giveaway. So, as usual, we have our core 5. Now, again, it's very important, especially this time of year, to pay attention to injuries, rest, illnesses. It's a crazy time of the year. The NBA is basically a shit show from here on out into the playoffs. You know, especially if you're looking at the bad teams. The Bulls, the Hornets, etc. You're going to just see the Warriors, of course. You're just going to see some real dog shit lineups with players you've never even heard of. Important to keep track of all that. You can follow me on Twitter at DFS Bachelor. I do my best to try to track it throughout the day. It's, it is what it is. So let's get started here. Let's start right at the top. D'Angelo Russell against New Orleans. Obviously a massively paced game. Both these teams play at a very fast pace. So lots of extra possessions. He's 16-5 on Fantasy Draft. For those of you who are new to Fantasy Draft, it is double the salary cap of DraftKings Fantasy Draft. So that's the equivalent of being $8,250 on DraftKings. It's really important to point that out. Today on DraftKings, Russell's at $9,000, so you're getting a good price for him. In terms of Fantasy Draft scoring against guards, New Orleans is 24th overall. Against point guards, in all DFS and all daily fantasy NBA, they're 28th in the league, allowing the third most fantasy points in the league to opposing point guards. In his last 3 games against New Orleans, a 43, a 45, and a 56. I like D'Angelo Russell in a paced-up game a lot tonight against New Orleans. If you're looking for a cheaper pivot, going down to a Malik Beasley, I don't mind that in that spot either. Next, little revenge game at home against his former Clippers mates. Although I do like SGA as well. They're very similarly priced. I'll take Chris Paul. 13.6 on Fantasy Draft. So you're getting him for the equivalent of about 6,800. He's actually 7.5 today on DraftKings. Against opposing guards, he's 19th in Fantasy Draft scoring. The Clippers are 19th against guards in terms of Fantasy Draft scoring. Overall against point guards, the Clippers are 10th. A 30, a 42, and a 50 in his last 3 against the Clippers. I like Chris Paul an awful lot tonight. Of course, LeBron is in play. He's just very expensive, and I don't think there's a lot of great value tonight. But if Anthony Davis does indeed miss, then of course LeBron's going to be a great play. Guys like Tobias Harris in that same Laker-Philly game with Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons out, etc. But next for me in that Minnesota-New Orleans game, I like Zion Williamson. 14.5 on Fantasy Draft, so he's about 7,200 on DraftKings. Well, today he's 7.7, so you're getting a good price for him there. New Orleans is Minnesota is 27th against opposing power forwards. On all sites, they struggle defensively up front. They have all year, whether Towns is there or not. In fact, they're a better defensive team without Karl Anthony Towns. But I like Zion Williamson a lot. It's his first game against Minnesota. We've seen the 50-point upside. The minutes are there. The matchup is there. The pace is there. I like Zion Williamson an awful lot tonight. Next, Jaylen Brown. So with the Celtics, what we have going on tonight is it looks like Kemba Walker is going to be back. Would be very surprised if he's not on a minutes limit. Then you have Marcus Smart and Jason Tatum, both ill. Both did not practice yesterday. They have a legit shot at missing tonight's game. So if you have a Kemba Walker with limited minutes, you've got possibly no Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, take your pick of the two. I think Jaylen Brown's the lower owned. He's 13,400 on Fantasy Draft, which is the equivalent of about 6,700 on DraftKings. They have him priced at 7-1 on DraftKings today. Brooklyn is 4th against opposing shooting guards overall and 5th against forward/centers on Fantasy Draft. You could see the format's a little different there. But in his last 5 games against Brooklyn, only one game under 33. He's got a 37, a 47, and a 33 in that time frame. At home, so his shooting should be there. I think Jaylen Brown could be a sneaky tournament play with big-time upside. He's been playing really, really well as of late as well. In his last 5 games overall, 40, 38, 39, 34, 37 has been red hot. I think the usage will be there, again, with a limited Kemba, possibly no Tatum, and possibly no Marcus Smart. It's certainly something to keep an eye on, so watch the news throughout the day. And next, for some value, especially if Paul Millsap remains out, but even if Millsap plays, I still like Jeremy Grant. He is 9,600 on Fantasy Draft, equivalent of about 4,800. That's what he is on DraftKings today, 5K. Golden State is 11th against forward/centers in terms of Fantasy Draft scoring. Overall, against power forwards specifically, they are 21st in the league. Jeremy Grant's been putting up big numbers, especially the last 3 games. He's cheap, adds some value. It's a nice matchup. That Denver Golden State game, guys like Grant, Monty Morris, you worry about it being a blowout, being in Denver against one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in the league. So some of those backups, some of these younger guys who are going to play minutes, even a Michael Porter Jr. could be an interesting tournament pivot today. But I do like Jeremy Grant quite a bit in that matchup tonight. So if you go with that core 5 of D'Angelo Russell, Chris Paul, Zion Williamson, Jaylen Brown, Jeremy Grant, that still leaves you $10,800 per player. That has plenty of salary to fill out the rest of your roster. Of course, you can make adjustments, etc. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, be part of our weekly $25 PayPal giveaway. And don't forget to comment with your Fantasy Draft username. We give away 2 or 3 entries every week. And we've had a few success stories with that, where people have taken that free entry and turned it into quite a bit of money. It's pretty neat to watch. Of course, it's not going to happen every time. No one can guarantee that. If they try to tell you that, they are a complete buffoon. But it's a lot of fun. Be sure to check it out. FantasyDraft.com. Enter promo code DFS Bachelor. Thank you all again so much for all your support. Cheers, cheers, cheers to you all. May the fantasy gods be with you tonight. And here shortly, I will also have our NBA video up for the other sites as well. Thank you all again so much. Goodbye, folks.